we want to write an equation using these 2 points. That's all we got, 2 points. Now, obviously, if you had a graph, you could do the same thing. You would just look at the graph, you would find where 2 points are, and you would use those to do it as well. So I can write an equation of a graph as well, as long as I can ascertain 2 points to use. First thing you need to do is you need to find the slope, okay? So whether we are given the slope, sometimes you might be, or we have to do it like here. I'm going to get the slope. So I'm going to use my slope equation, which is y2 is y1 over x2 minus x1. Now I'm going to call this y1, x1, y1, and x2, y2. But it doesn't matter. As long as you're consistent, it doesn't matter which one's which. I got down a little too low and I want to make sure I don't lose any negatives. I tell y'all lose any negatives, it looks bad if I lose any. So I'm going to start here. So I'm going to do 6 minus a minus 4, and then 2 minus 7. So this is 10 over negative 5 for negative 2. So then my slope is negative 2. Okay. Now to write the equation itself, so that's my first step. Then what I'm going to do is I need a point. I have a point. I can use either one. I'm going to use this one. Why am I using this one? Simple, there's no negatives in it. If there's a 0 and 1, I like that. Or if I choose the one that's positive. If I don't have a choice, doesn't matter. Again, you will get the same answer either way. I'm going to use point slope here. This is point slope. Now you'll notice something about point slope. These equations are the same thing. Dirty little secret. Same thing. You memorize one, you memorize the other. If you times this top and bottom by x2 minus x1, get over there. They just, instead of x2s, they have y's, because we're going to leave those in there, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in here, put whatever point I've chosen, and then there's my slope. So y minus 6 equals negative 2x minus 2. Okay. Now I'm going to simplify this down. Y minus 6 equals negative 2x plus 4. Move the 6 over. Y equals negative 2x plus 10. This is my equation. Now, I could at this point, if I wanted to, graph it using slope-intercept, right? So that's what I'm going to do. For a little extra practice here thrown in, kind of 2 for 1, I'm going to start at 10. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So start up here. Go down. So this is 2 over 1, remember? Down. So I'm going to go down 2, 1, 2 over 1. Down 2, 1, 2 over 1. There's my line. Nice and done. So not only did I write an equation, but then I turned it into a graph once I had in that nice intercept. Now, in general, when I simplify, I always simplify into slope-intercept because slope-intercept gives me so much information in one stop. It gives me the slope, it gives me the y-intercept, and it makes it easy to graph. And a lot of times you're needing one of those later, so I'd rather have it in one compact form. So that's what I will usually simplify to. Could you simplify it to something else? Sure. But this is usually the most convenient and useful.